Hello everyone, welcome to Learning Now Simple, and today we are going to cover another king who was born in the Mughal Empire, another Mughal emperor, and that is Emperor Jahangir. So before we go into other details, let's learn a little about him. Let us be introduced to him. Let us know more about him. Okay. So his actual name is Prince Salim, and he was the oldest son of Emperor Akbar, and he was also called Nuruddin Muhammad Jahangir, or Conqueror of the World. His mother was a Hindu Rajput princess Jodhabai, and I'm sure those who have learnt about Akbar will be very familiar with this name. And after Jahangir was born, she was called as Maryam Uz Zamani. He followed his father's expansionist policies and policies of matrimonial alliance. If you want to know more about these policies, please go back and check the previous video where we have very well covered all the topics on Akbar. And in fact, if you watch it, you'll be more familiar with the terms that we use in this video. Jahangir, like his father, was not a strict Sunni Muslim. He followed, for example, the Jesuits to dispute publicly with Muslim theologians to make converts. Jahangir's reign was, however, marked by several revolts, and he is not by many considered a very efficient administrator. So, let us go to some basic points, some basic events that happened during his reign. So, if you have been watching the previous videos, you would be very well familiar with this one word, Rana. And now it is your task to go and find out uh, from the previous videos about Rana Amar Singh. Once you watch it and once you see the previous events, you'll learn who he is also. The many decades long war with the Rajput Principality of Mewar had ended in 1615 on generous terms with Rana Amar Singh. So we have learned about his father, his grandfather, and how they also had battles with the ancestors of Jahangir, his predecessors, that is Akbar, Babur. We have learned about all this. So if you are well familiar with those events, then you will be able to connect it. It was nearly a 40-year war, and it was ended on good terms in 1615. Then, after some time, Jahangir's son Khusrau Mirza, he had desired the power of the kingdom, and he was wishing to rule. So he decided to rebel, to carry out a rebellion against his father. So what Jahangir had done is he defeated him and he imprisoned him, and he ordered the people to blind him so that these sort of revolts might no longer take place, and so that it was a mark of punishment. And he also had a supporter, this Khusrau Mirza, who was the son of Jahangir. He had a supporter called Guru Arjun Dev, who was the fifth Sikh Guru. And this Guru Arjun Dev, he was also beheaded upon Jahangir's orders. And this alienated the Sikhs because they were very upset, because the Sikh gurus are their leaders, right? They are spiritual leaders. So once he was beheaded, they were really upset by this decision of Jahangir. Now, these are some of the main events that took place in his life. Probably these are the ones which are being covered in your school, so we are going to go only with these. Now, let us, come about with some other facts also. So, one small fact I can give you about his personality is that he was very fond of literature, painting, and he was very well educated. He also had a zoo where he had documented each species of animals. And if you are really interested, you can look up his autobiography, which the name of the autobiography will be known to you in some time. He had documented a lot of information about animals and plants around him, because he was a very enthusiast. He was an enthusiast in such matters. Now we are going to look up something really interesting. So, The very title shows you how the British East India Company came into power. And there are photos of Jahangir also. So how do you think it is related? Okay, so we are just going to cover that. It is very interesting, and in fact, the we know that it is around the 1600s when the Britishers initially came, and they didn't come directly to conquer. The initial purpose why they came was for trading, because India had very good quality goods, very good spices, and very advanced textiles, very good quality textiles. So they had come here initially as just traders to, set up their factories and trade with the kings. And they had come in the name of a company called the English East India Company. So let us see how it all started. So in 1600, the East India Company had obtained a charter. They had given a charter to the Queen of England, who had signed it. And what this charter said was that they had the permission, East India Company had the permission to trade with India. Now they got this permission from the Queen of England. Now wherever they want to trade, from that place also they need permission. So they went to India and they tried to take permission from there. And whom they approached was Emperor Jahangir. He comes into place here. So first, Captain Hawkins approached Jahangir in 1608. He asked him that, can I set up a factory? I have come on behalf of the English East India Company, and we want to set up a factory here. But he was denied. At that time, Jahangir felt that no, we shouldn't be trading with the foreign companies, and he denied it. But a few years later, 5 years later, when Sir Thomas Roe approached Jahangir, he was readily given the permission, because he came and nicely coaxed him, in very pleasing words, uh, you know, uh, appreciated him, talked of his greatness, and then he also slowly slid in his matter, that is of their need for setting up a factory. And naturally, needless to say, Jahangir had given them permission. And so they set up their first factory at Surat. And from there was no looking back. Then the East India Company went on to set up factories at places like Bengal and mm, Bombay, Madras, so many other places. And that is how slowly, from a company, a trading company, they began uh, transforming their role into an expansionist group. They started trying to slowly take up places. So first and foremost, this is the point you have to keep in mind, that they did not come as uh, for the purpose of conquering. There were many other people also who had come during this time, and they had just come to make their fortune. The Dutch had come, the Portuguese, the French. There was a big rivalry between the French and British. These are also extra points for you. These will be covered in detail in future videos. So this is just for some basic knowledge and just like a fun fact for you. Now we will learn about his wife, that is Noor Jahan. You might be very familiar with this name. So Noor Jahan was Jahangir's wife, and she was a very efficient administrator. Some even consider that she was more efficient than Jahangir. Her actual name was Mehrunisa, and she was named Noor Jahan because she was really beautiful, and Noor Jahan meant light of the world. Now, here are some points about her. When Jahangir fell sick once, she took complete control of administration. Other than that, also, usually women were not allowed in the administrative quarters. The queens generally did not take part in administration, but she would come, she would sit with Jahangir, she would know what is going on here, and she played a very active role in administration. She struck coins in her name during the last years of Jahangir's reign, and she gave high posts to her family members. Now, coming to a close, let us know about his autobiography. which was called Tuzuke Jahangiri or the Jahangir Nama. This is a practice which was also followed by his predecessors. That is, we have learned about Akbar Nama, Babar Nama. So, they have all kept this practice of keeping an autobiography. It is nothing much. They record their incidents that are taking place during that time. Then about their administration, what all steps they had taken, and other than that, also they write about their personal life also. Like Jahangir has was very fond of animals and plants. He admired fauna and flora a lot, so he had written a lot regarding that. He had observed from whatever observations he had made. He had written a lot. Similarly, what if we have seen about his predecessors, they have written about their wars and battles and what all steps they had taken during that time, etc., etc. Now we will do a quick revision of whatever happened. So, firstly, we learned his full name, that was Nuruddin Muhammad Jahangir. He was the son of Akbar and Jodhabai, and he also followed the expansionist policies and matrimonial alliance policies. Then we learned about Khusrau Mirza and the long war, which was ended with the Principality of Mewar, that is with Rana Amar Singh. Then we also learned about how the English East India Company came into power with Jahangir into the picture. And we learned more about Noor Jahan, what all steps she had taken, and about his autobiography. And that's all, my friends. We have come to a close. So today we have learned about Jahangir. Do keep watching this and do keep taking notes while you are watching so that it stays put in your mind. Thank you so much for watching. This is Learning Now Simple.